Hello mathematicians, so in this video and getting in a little bit of practice, you can say I can determine the probability of simple events. Let's look at a quick example here. So it says Pablo is running a concession stand which is selling candy, popcorn, and soda. One day, 16 people bought candy, 37 bought popcorn, and 22 bought soda. Based on the results from this day, what is the probability the next customer will buy popcorn? Express your answer as both a fraction and a decimal rounded to the nearest tenth. So we're looking for the probability the next customer will buy popcorn. So I'm going to underline this really quick just to highlight this information. This is what we are trying to find out, this probability. And you're going to see this notated as probability of, I'm going to say P of, and you usually put something in parentheses. There's the probability of, I'm going to write popcorn, probability of popcorn. And when we're calculating simple probability, that probability, the P of whatever we're talking about, is equal to the favorable outcomes over the total outcomes. So simple probability is equal to the ratio between the favorable outcomes over the total outcomes. So in this situation, our favorable outcomes, and you put our favorable outcomes would be the amount of popcorn bought. So there were 37 people that bought popcorn. So 37 people that bought popcorn. And what we need to do is now we need to find out the total amount of items that were bought. So the total amount of outcomes, well, we could take 16 plus 37 people bought popcorn plus the 22 people that bought soda. So that would give us the total amount of outcomes. So this would be equal to 37 over 16 plus 37. We can do this off to the side over here. It's 37 plus 16. That would give us 53. And then we would add another 22 to that, which would give us 75. So 37 over 75. So our probability that the next person will eat or buy popcorn is 37 over 75. And this is as a simplified fraction. So this would be our answer as a fraction. And it also asks as a decimal rounded to the nearest tenth. So we can convert this to a decimal. Let's use some long division to do so. So we take 37 and divide that by 75. And 75 doesn't go into 37, so we put a 0 above it, add a decimal and another 0. This decimal goes straight up, remember? So I'll do a little bit of scratch work over here. So how many times does 75 go into 370 without going over it? Let's guess 4 times. So we take 75 times 4, 20. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 2, that's 300. So that's under 370. And if we were to add another 75 to that by multiplying it by 5, we get 375. So that's too much. So 4 is our number. So that would give us 300 right here. And that would give us a remainder of 70. And I'm actually going to change this problem. It says that there's a round the decimal to the nearest tenth. Let's round this to the nearest thousandth, okay? So I'm going to change this problem real quick. And we get a remainder of 70, and then we'd add another 0 and bring that down. So how many times does 75 go into 700? 10 would be too many times, and obviously we can't do 10, but I guess it goes in 9 times. So let's go 75 times 9 just to see what that is. That gives us 5 times 9 is 45. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 4 is 67, so 675. So that's under 700, so we're good to go there. All right, so 9 times, that would give us 675. And we'd get a remainder of 25, and we'd add an extra 0. Bring that down. How many times does 75 go into 250? Well, we know 4 would be too many times. I'm going to guess 3, so 75 times 3 is 15, and add an extra 1. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. So we get 225, so 3 right here, so we'd get 225, and now we have to borrow there. 10 minus 5 would give us 5. 250 again, so it looks like this is going to become a repeating decimal because we've already been here, so we know it's going to be 0.493 repeating. So this right here would be our answer rounded to the nearest thousandths. So the probability that the next customer would get would order of popcorn would be 37 over 75, or written as a decimal would be 0.493. So that's it for a video. If you're watching this and getting a little bit of practice, you can say, I can determine the probability of simple events.